front suspension, front cornering, rear cornering, update front suspension, modified front cornering, revised cornering. So still, yes, I still have the same opinions about McLaren as far as is Lando doing better with these updates than Oscar Piastri is. And is Lando also doing better at this circuit because of his experience? So that doesn't change my opinion there. But then when we come to Ferrari, that's why I was so baffled. Like, where the hell is the floor on the sheet? So did they lie to us? Because Fred said he was going to stop telling us about whatever the hell they were going to be doing. They did change the floor. Here it is right here. So yeah, floor fence, redistribution fencing profile of the camber. And you'll see right here, you're going to have a massive, everything is about the floor body, floor edge, floor diffuser, floor edge body, performance conditioning, reshape the boat and the tunnel expansion, shorter and recambered front floor edge wing, redesign diffuser volume, redistribution of fence profiles and camber. This is not event specific, this floor package. So the thing here is, when are they going to bring the rear suspension? All right, that is what I am wondering. Why maybe they didn't bring the rear suspension here because there is a such thing as changing so much and not really understanding what you got and what's really changing. So let's say you brought the floor here and you brought the rear suspension here. Well, if you have a positive attribute, is it because of the floor? Is it because of the rear suspension? And really, did you only get so much positive? Or are you missing something on the table because something is counterproductive to your update becoming an upgrade? So you kind of got to bring these things in section. Let's bring the floor, then let's bring the suspension. So that is what's going on there. So we got the floor fence, floor body, floor edge. All of this is for the car. Nothing is event specific. So like I said yesterday, I'm giving Ferrari some time here to adjust to see what's going on. Yes, they got a top 5 finish in qualifying. That's cool. I mean, that's a cool thing. Only thing is this going to be realized in race pace? Is Oscar Piastri going to make that kind of change it up? But is Ferrari going to be able to hold on to that? Are they going to have the strategy right? Is the pits going to be right? But overall, I'm not really expecting too much from Ferrari this weekend when you're bringing a package to that magnitude, because I got to give them some time to understand it. And if they understand it enough to be competitive here, that's cool. And collect the data, that's cool. Then I should see even more performance the next go. All right. We should see even more from Ferrari on the next go. So yeah, just like Ferrari right here, all of the floor. I was getting confused as shit. Like, what the hell is going on? Like they front us out on Fred, trick us on the floor update. But yes, Ferrari on the floor. So I know many people are hoping that they can get a podium here. I just don't know. I think that if the temperatures are high, Mercedes might be a bit on the edge and out of it. I think that Oscar Piastri is not trying to settle for third place. I'm not quite sure that Leclerc's ability in the car, even improved, is enough to overwhelm Piastri and his ability in that McLaren. But if he can, that is cool. If we manage to some reason get a double Ferrari podium, that is good for them. I don't know how much of that they can take out of this weekend and say we're on the right track. Typically for me, I need to see you go through 3 racing events with positive performance to say you're on the right track. 1 could be a fluke. 2 could be shit. What do we really do? And 3, it's like, okay, it's realized. It's a done deal. I kind of go by the 3 and peep thing. It's a done deal. Next team up is Red Bull. New surface, a vent ahead of the rear tire, performance load, and floor edge. This is a new edge wing is being deployed, intended to maintain and establish flow stability and improve the load extracted from the region of the floor. I think Red Bull is still trying to find out how McLaren is doing what they are doing. So therefore, some of these changes are leading to that. I don't know if they're going to find out what McLaren is doing. I don't know if anybody's going to really realize it at this point in time in the season or even later this season, how McLaren have developed something mechanically to really get their car to cool the way it has. It might be till next season. Might not be till the damn end of the season. And by the end of the season, 3/4 of the season, it's kind of late by then. They're already running away with the Constructors' Championship. So not sure how much of that is going to change for them. I also focusing on the rear edge of their car, trying to condition that flow coming off the rear. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, you'll see right here that is an area they're focusing on. They're also focusing on those front brake ducts, trying to improve those somehow. Red Bull is always gonna be one of those teams that are gonna try to be competitive, even when being competitive means I'm just gonna try to fill out a bunch of petition sheets. It's just something they do. That's the nature of that team. The next team up that we'll see right here is Mercedes. Mercedes front corner, Coke engine cover, and that is large brake duct inlet and exit. Again, trying to focus on getting those brakes cool. Large rear body work exit. All right, so increasing body work, designed to increase mass flow through the side pod radiator, hence provide additional cooling required for this circuit. I don't think that's just for this circuit. I think this is for these type of environment conditions. We already know Mercedes don't perform excessively well in warmer climates, more than they do in colder climates. We already know, I hinted to this at the beginning of the season, that I wanted to see if they worked this out. For a moment, it seemed like maybe, until we got in warmer climates and we saw that maybe there's still something to work out. Not saying it's as bad as it once was, but it's still not as good as they want it to be without them having to be concerned about it week in and week out if they're going to be in warmer climate areas. So Mercedes is indeed focusing on that. That is something they need to focus on, but I still think they have a very strong driver pairing since Antonelli is showing promise. George Russell is a solid performing driver, and I do applaud his ability and his backbone to stand up to Max Verstappen and anybody else that he's racing on track right now in a very murky situation, as it is pretty much reported. Toto Wolff is looking for Max Verstappen, and we could talk about that on another video. And how that will play with Russell, not too sure that's going to play well with Russell. But it's out there. We'll see what happens as that story unfolds and as many of those other things unfold. Right here, Aston Martin, not doing diddly squat. Don't have to worry about Aston Martin. Lance Stroll is Lance Stroll, and that's it to it. And I'm probably sure we'll hear a bunch of excuses about his wrist. BWT Alpine, nothing there, although Gasly and Bortoleto, surprising some up there in the top 10. That was definitely cool, especially for Bortoleto. He probably needed that. You know, Bortoleto probably needed that. He's been in a pretty bad car. And to be an F2 champion, come in and pretty much know what's going on, Paul, pretty much know that your season is going to be a wash because the team's not good. The car development hasn't been good. For him to still stay forward and stay headstrong, I commend the young gentleman on that. And hopefully a better car, a better team environment will be coming his way. All right. Hopefully that will be coming his way. Big shout out to Paul in the super chat. Big shout out to Self-Made Maintenance. So MoneyGram, Haas is just not an American team. Nothing to see there. Nothing to see there in several other ways as well. Now, when we come to the Racing Bulls, we will see front wing and rear wing. Front wing with flap geometry and updated rear wing profiles, drag range, flow conditioning, circuit specific. This is for performance. Flap has been changed to improve local flow conditioning and help increase aerodynamic performance across the range of the condition. So Hadjar didn't do as good as I would have liked him to do, but he's been doing well for the season. So this is no pluck at him at all. But I think he's in the best place right now. I know many of us have been concerned about Hadjar and the Yuki conversation because it seems Red Bull try to change drivers out of the number 2 seat like they changed socks. I think many of us have shared the opinion, and even journalists have shared the opinion, that Hadjar don't go to Red Bull. Just stay where you are, perform where you are. I think it's been proven that it could be a misstep going from the Racing Bulls to the Red Bull. And it might not be you. There just might be such a cultural Max Verstappen centric team there that you're not going to be able to have a very good, clean slate of an opportunity there. And it's been shown, it's been proven, it's been seen. So I think many of us feel like, hey, man, just stay at the Racing Bulls, get that resume up, and hopefully a top team will see that the promise there and do something. Hey, Atlassian Williams, nothing to see there, and seems like nothing to see here. Williams has been on a bit of a turmoil streak, not going to say down streak, because still Williams performing as they have been is an improvement, but damn, it does. I mean, are they getting out-developed? Is there something happening in the team that they stunted themselves on and they can't get past? But Williams we could count both cars in points, and now they are struggling. They're struggling. Something's happening. They got to work it out. I want them to work it out just because I like seeing Williams perform well. They've been in the ditch for so long. A lot of people coming into Formula One just now. Welcome to Formula One. It's definitely good to have you, but don't think that Williams has always been a team in Formula One that hasn't been shit, because they have. Williams is historically an awesome team with a great story. And to see them return to high-performing levels is good for the sport. It's good for us. And it's good for this team as far as historically where they come from, right? If you want to talk about getting it out the mud, Williams is one of those teams that will qualify for that. Probably the only team right now that will qualify for that, to me, on the grid, with the backstory of Frank Williams and Claire and everything that they went through and what they accomplished and the drivers they had and the engineers and the team they had, team principals they had. Like, Williams is not just some rags team. They just have gone through so much as of recently in the past, 5 years, even more, where they just haven't looked to the level that we've known them to be. So looking for Williams to perform better for sure. Looking for Carlos and Albon to be fighting for top points eventually on a real consistent basis. And as we sit here with Kick Sauber, seeing Bortoleto in the top 10 and make it all the way to Q3, floor body, performance load, changing the mid-floor area, including outboard floor edge and diffuser, performance load, local load right here, new rear wing assembly, Bortoleto in the Q3. So like I was saying about the other teams, Ferrari, McLaren, Bortoleto's the rookie. And it is good to see him perform well and to make it in the top 10. Can he stay there in race trim? That is the other thing. I would like to see it. I would like to see Bortoleto go in here, collect a point, or some, 2, 3, hell, whatever he can get for Kick Sauber. I think it's good for him. I think it's good for them. They went unnecessarily a long time last season without any damn points. That's not going to be the talk this season. But to see this rookie have a moment where he can feel very good and encouraged about himself, would be awesome. All right, so next team up, and next team that I would like to see come about is Alpine. I know I don't like the guy. He stands for cheating in Formula One of the utmost. Rigatory is just a cheat, but Alpine does have a collection of drivers that I don't mind seeing if they can make something happen. I've already told you several times, I think Gasly's ceiling is his ceiling. Paul in the Super Chat says, we will see after the race if they are upgrades. Right. That is a fact, Paul. That's basically what we're saying here. We like their updates, but they're not upgrades until they show positive performance. And Alpine as a team, they're trying to get their driver lineup together. They're going to be a customer team coming up soon with Mercedes, I believe it is. I believe they're going with a Mercedes power unit. So I do want to see Alpine, because of the drivers they have, do it. And Alpine's another team, hell, not even in 5 years. In the past couple seasons, they've went through some chopping block changes. I mean, all throughout their ranks. firings, hiring of drivers, team principals. Man, like it's been a musical chair. And then they bring Flavio Brigatore in, and that was kind of like, what the hell are you doing? It's just, I don't know. Alpine reminds me of the Cleveland Browns. Ferrari reminds me of the Cowboys. And said if there ever was a cheating team that had a problem, although I didn't think it was a big problem with the New Orleans Saints, so I'm not going to say that. They had like the bounty situation. I was kind of cool with that. I mean, you're rewarding players to hit hard in a contact sport. I really didn't see a problem with that. My problem was if it was, the verbiage was, hey, I want you to take this player out and you get the money. That's my problem. But it really wasn't that type of part. It was just like, hey, you go out there, play some hard defense, lay down some hard licks, get a bonus. Hey, it's a contact sport. Go for it. So Red Bull are a cheating ass team, but they are also a very streamlined running team when it comes to, strategy and all that other stuff. Mercedes, I kind of feel like Mercedes is on the brink of dooming themselves. I almost feel as if a move by Mercedes to shit can Russell and pick up Max Verstappen might further put them in a hole that they are unexpectedly overlooking. But Max Verstappen, completely awesome driver, character and everything else is not intact. I don't know how that's going to fare in the Mercedes environment, but we will see. And also Max Verstappen going for a race win here. He did qualify 7th. So if I will tell you right now, if Max Verstappen goes from 7th to a race win, the roaches and the rats, the Max Verstappen tramps, they're going to come out in numbers, even after weeks of no winning races. That's just what they do. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If Lando's anywhere responsible for it, yeah, he's gonna help Max get there. I'm metaphorically, I'm really poking fun, but Lando just has to do a better job with Max, just point blank period. He just has to do a better job with Max, point blank period. But anyway, that's what we got. We have the race coming up in almost 45 minutes time. So be here. We will be live. We will be having a good time here. And a big shout out to everybody. Big shout out to the top 3 for the qualifying top fans pole position yesterday. That was fun. If that was today, we would have a different lineup than we had yesterday. Today, if we were doing qualifying today, Paul would be in the lead. Mary Beanie would be second. Selfmade would be there. But if the points were as they were yesterday, none of these top 3 would be there because Incredible Facts Quest killed it with 500 and something damn points to take the pole position away. So that was absolutely crazy how he came just in the last moments and closed that out. So we will see y'all later. Race day. Hopefully it's a competitive race. Hope for a safe race for all drivers on track. And I hope to see a very good just a straight dog walk out here. Not a dog walk, because if you dog walk somebody, means it was no competitive. I want to see a dog fight out here. All right, I want to see a race. Even if there's a driver or two in front, I want to see clean strategy. I want to see good calls. I want to see all of that. So we'll see what happens. I think it is going to be a very competitive race. I like Russell where he is. Also, just to call this out, but I got to give him props because I'm going to give him some props for what he did there because it happened again. Lim Lawson is good to surprise Max Verstappen at least once a season to out-qualify him, and Lim Lawson out-qualifies Max Verstappen, as well as Russell, as well as Hamilton, as well as Piastri, as well as Leclerc, as well as Norris. But you still can't count Max out. Can't count him out, but and Lim Lawson's definitely not going to stay there. Come on. It's the Racing Bulls. They're going to give Lim Lawson orders to move over. That is the problem that we have with Red Bull having 4 cars, 4 drivers, and 2 teams on the grid. Lim Lawson's going to get that call. Move to the side. Max is coming through. Probably already got that call in the meeting. Probably just happened. Hey, Max Verstappen, as soon as he gets on your rear wing, you need to let him by. Big shout out to Paul. Big shout out to Marciano. Big shout out to Mary Beanie. Big shout out to who else pulled up in here is Wolfpack fam. A lot of purple badge in there. So big shout out to you all, man. I really love you. I really appreciate you. Self-made maintenance, R33, Z33. We are about to get ready to watch the Austrian GP. I will see you all soon live for the race. Peace and love. We're out.